So in today's age, when films are available online, on YouTube, video on demand, why do you think having film festivals is still important?
I had a line, somebody asked me that once, and I had a really good line that I can't remember. It was something like, we can all masturbate, but that doesn't stop us from going out and having sex. I mean, festivals, it's about the people. It's about being out and interacting. And like I think too in Ottawa, the parties, the social events are just as important as the film screenings, because it's this rare chance where you're meeting these other weirdos who are into this little animation thing like you are. You know, it's like meeting a family in some way, a dysfunctional family. But you know, a festival like Annecy has just become too big, and I don't even enjoy going anymore because you can't really, you know everybody there, but it's
you
just...
You don't interact that much.
And you don't feel included. They seem to have lost touch with people, with their guests, and lost sight of what they were originally about. All these original animation festivals, which were about independent animators and giving them a space to show. So anyway, I think in Ottawa, like because we're the big festival in North America, not just Canada, it's a little more pressure to appease the industry. So we found ways to incorporate them while kind of protecting the independence of the competition and the programming that I do. So we kind of strike a nice balance, and I like bringing those two worlds together too. So it's so they can get annoyed with each other. So I think you have to have some kind of identity, because there's a lot of festivals now just appearing, because there weren't many back when I started, and a lot of them are they seem to just want to please everybody, and so they end up with no identity really. And I think the most successful ones have some kind of personality behind it. Ottawa tends to be, from what I hear from people, it's a fun festival. The films we show aren't always shown at other animation festivals, but we always try to keep it very light at the festival, and we want people to have fun. We want everybody to be included. So if we have parties, we want everybody there. We don't want it to be a secret where you have to find out where you get the invitation. So I think that's just something basic like that. It's not taking it too seriously.
So would you say Animateka has that identity?
That's why I'm here, because I've been here before, and there are a handful of festivals that I like. The smaller, even Ottawa for me is too big for my taste, but I like the more intimate festivals where you really get to know the other guests in a more meaningful way. Programming is interesting and not trying to appeal to a more commercial audience. So there's a good vibe here, I think. And to me, it's been 5 years between visits, and it hasn't changed that much. And I think that's a good thing. Some people would say, oh, well, it's stagnating, but it still has a nice atmosphere to me. When I started in Ottawa, and we were every 2 years, there were 750 submissions over a 2-year period, and now it's 2,500 every year. So it's insane how much more is made. I think in terms of the content, I think the techniques are still all as diverse as ever. Even with the digital tools, you still see scratch films and sand animation and lots of analog type old school stuff. But I think the content, there's maybe more personal expression, or people dealing with topics you didn't really see before. Sexuality, mental illness, addiction, I mean, all sorts of, I think more really personal stuff that's boundary pushing. You didn't see that so much earlier, as far as I remember. My criteria is very complex and scientific. Do I ever want to see this film again? And sometimes I try to imagine it in a cinema, how it would look. But really it's just an instinctual feeling. I mean, I like for Ottawa, because I don't come from an animation background, I don't know how to draw. I came from a film studies or literature background, so I'm not, some people get so impressed by technique, oh, it looks so beautiful, but they don't actually consider what's it saying. Is there a story here? Is there an idea? And to me, that's more important than how the film looks. So often we'll take films that maybe technically are a little unpolished, but that conceptually are quite interesting and original. I think overall we're looking for stuff that has some kind of heartbeat. It's coming from a person, not from a studio or producers or from students who are trying to do films in a style of a studio and not really expressing what's inside of them. So I think we try to look for kind of authentic expressions, which can be difficult. But.
And I had never traveled anywhere.
What advice do you have for young animators or animation students, especially when it comes to submitting their films to festivals?
Don't take it too seriously, because I think there are people that think, oh, it's these animation festival juries or selection committees are like these gods who just know all, and it's bullshit. It's just stupid idiots like the rest of us, just human beings who eat and shit like the rest of us, and everything is subjective. Sometimes you're just not going to fit into a certain festival, but you shouldn't. That's the other thing that for students too. This is your one opportunity to do whatever you want. There's nobody telling you what you should be making. You have this freedom, maybe the only time in your life. So I think you have to do what you want to do, something that interests you. Make it for yourself first. Don't worry about your teachers or what mom and dad think, or if you think Ottawa would like this type of film. And there are people that do that, and that's not the way to do it. This is your chance to just experiment and find your voice, and just take a chance.